Hello, it's Pat Sloan here. I'm Santa's little helper for the next few days. How about you? I think it just is more cheerful, isn't it, to be Santa's helper? Yes, so we have the freedom to take a break because, you know, Santa's got all the big work to do. So on the calendar today, I have a tidy up. And why I have that here specifically is because I want my space to be sort of a nice calming zone, and when sort of the holiday things are done, I want to be able to come in here and not have a mess, because that is just not calm. It's just not fun, right? It's just not fun to come into your space and, okay, my hat's too big. Okay, so come into your space and there's just stuff piled, you know, things you didn't put away. So if you've been wrapping, or maybe you're still wrapping, but try to clear up your space over the next 2 days, you know, so that Christmas Eve, Christmas, the days after, you are not having a chaotic space to work in. So I am going to, you know, get a few little things cleared off there. I'm just going to tidy up my shelf. The board over here, the sideboard, is pretty good shape. That's pretty good shape. Everything else here is pretty good shape. I just need to clear that stuff a little bit. So that is your challenge, because I just think that it just helps all of our being to have our sewing space tidy. All right, now the title of this was just what a difference a stitch makes, because I remember I have two things to finish: the label for the critters and the mushroom. Well, the drawing bag is just about done, so I'm going to be showing you that. But here I started the wave stitch for the Oh My Stars with the mushroom fabric. Well, there's other fabric too, but it has this awesome mushroom fabric, so I'm calling it the mushroom fabric, Oh My Stars. And when I was doing this, okay, so what happened is the wave stitch is a decorative stitch on most machines. So you set the decorative stitch, and then what happened was, I think I had to go out and do an errand or something, and so I turned the machine off, what happens? My machine, I don't have it set to come back to the last decorative stitch. I have it set so that it's always back to the straight stitch. But I had forgotten, even though I came in and turned the machine on again to start again, I had forgotten that it was on, I had not set it back to the wave stitch. So I stitched a straight stitch. Not only did I do just a little bit, I did the whole thing. I did all the way down to the end. And as I was stitching it, I thought to myself, oh, this is sewing faster than I'm thinking it should sew. Because basically when you're doing the wave stitch and you've got your walking foot on, the machine only goes so fast. It will not go as fast as you're doing a straight stitch. Anytime like you've got the needle moving back and forth, the machine doesn't run as fast. And I noted that. I thought it was running, it seems to be running fast for this wave stitch. That's because I was doing a straight stitch and I didn't know until I got to the end. But it's a learning experience that I can share with you, how the straight stitch compared to the wave stitch looks side by side on a real quilt. Because I am going to unsew the straight stitch. I'm going to take it out then. But I thought I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to sew on both sides and just work with it. I didn't want to start off by unsewing. I thought I'd do that a little bit later. But let me get the other camera, because I want to show you what a difference the two stitches make when you're quilting your quilt. It is quite interesting. So I think you're going to be able to see this. Here is the straight stitch. Do you see that? Here is the straight stitch, and you can see it the whole way up. But down here, like when you look at this, it's almost like the wave stitch has disappeared. It is just kind of blended nicely in, given texture, whereas the straight stitch is pretty firm. It's pretty distinct. On either side, right here and right here, are wave stitch, and here's the straight. But now here I can kind of see the wave a little bit more, but most of the places that straight stitch is much more distinct than the wave stitches on either side. And so that is the difference the stitch type you use makes for your quilting. Also, I think some people wanted to know what thread I quilted it with, was going to quilt it with, and this is what I use, Orfil 2420 in 50 weight, and there is what the color is on the quilt. So it's a light peach, and then, you know, when you do this, you really want to take one strand. You know, we've talked about this a lot. I learned this of doing applique. One strand is makes a huge difference in what the density of the color is. Now I want to show you the back, because this is in the bobbin as well. And so right on the back of this, there is my wave stitch. And I would imagine that you can barely see it. Here is actually the straight line, and here's the wave. So when I pull back just a little bit, there's practically no stitching showing on the back, which is pretty cool. You get your whole design sort of being featured. So this is my little serendipitous example, you know, and I will pull this one out. But when I started looking at it laying there, I thought, oh, I need to show you this, because it is such an interesting thing to observe what a difference that straight stitch does versus the wave stitch. So what did you think of that? I was actually surprised, because I've really never done that test, and to have the whole quilt really there versus just doing it on a small square was kind of a powerful example of how that wave stitch is just really such a great basic stitch to have in your toolbox. And I'm gonna get that one done. I am. So the other thing I want to show you is that I need to do a label. I've got a bunch of stuff piled here. Hold on. So I need to do a label for the critters, and I have this panel, and I think what I'm going to do is take something off this panel and use it for the label. Because there's just some nice basic ones. There's a lot of the ones that are handmade for you that are just not really gonna work, but I think I like this one here with the bird. I like this one. They're just basic, and I may end up doing another outer border, and then like a green, you know, around that, or maybe not green, maybe like a gray around at the back to put it on the label. There was another one I liked. No, maybe that one was it with the circle. Yeah, I like the circle. Was there two circle ones? Oh yeah, here's another circle one that's got blanket stitching. But I'm thinking it's one between probably one of these two. So I will list everybody's first name and who made a block, and then I have the name of our friend who sent the backing, my long armor, you know, etc. And so I'll probably need a little bit more space. So that'll be good. So I've got to get that one done in the next day, or maybe probably before Christmas. I really just like to have it finished so that after Christmas I'm not like still got that one, because it'll need to get a nice photo out on the clothesline and then shipped off to its new home, which I will tell you its new home after it actually arrives and it all happens, because, you know, sometimes things fall through, people leave that said that this could happen and they're no longer there, and, you know, things it may get delayed. So you never know. You never know till it's actually there and delivered. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use one of the labels off of here. Okay, now that had a scissor on it. So speaking of scissors, there's some new scissors out that I am loving. They are, look at this. Look at that with the tape measure part on it. Isn't that awesome? They're Teflon scissors. They are done by Moda, and I just love them. Let me show you, because you know you gotta have some nice scissors every so often. Well, yeah, I have lots of nice scissors, but they come. There's a small pair. I think I'm going to use these snips for a while. I've been working with them. They are a blunt top snip. So there is no pointy. Like some of you like pointy for doing your for applique work, and like these are much more pointy. And I have some that are super pointy. But these are blunt end. And then they have. This is a little bit larger size, like this. See, just a little bit larger for those of you who prefer one a little bit larger. And then the comfort handle here. Well, they all have like a comfort handle, it says, but I like the shape of these. You know, a lot of us are, I think you can you use these ones both left and right? All of these are right-handed ones that I have because I'm right-handed. And then the bigger dressmaker. These are great for cutting batting, cutting your backings, you know, somewhere where you want a long, you know, you want to be able to go like down there. And that also has the tape measure on it. So darling, so darling. I love them. And so I've got a link in the description box and at my website today for these scissors. And okay, so let me just put that over there. Now I am moving along wonderfully. So I have the bag. Whoops, got the wrong side there. So I've got the bag. Here's the bag, the free drawing string bag that we were just working on and making. And then here is the little mug rug that I did the cutaways. So I sewed the cutaways and then trimmed them down. And I have two little clips here about how I trim these, the little ruler that I use. Let's take a look. Here are the cutaways from making the star for the bag, for the drawstring bag. And I want to do a little mug rug to send along with the bag. So I am using this Quilt in a Day ruler, and they were just not going to make it for cutting it to 2, finishing 1.5. Some of them were just a little undersized, and so that means I'll just be trimming a bit more away and they'll be at the 1.5 mark. So what I do is, let's see, get in here. Here is the sewn seam. These are from the cutaway, and I will just take the 1.5 mark line and put it right on the seam, right on the sewn line. Trim the 2 sides away like this, trim both sides away, and then I just take this and trim off the little dog ears like that as I go. And so these now will open up. Oops, they will open up and be these precious little, they'll be little finished 1 inch. This is 1.5, so they'll finish at 1 inch. And I will, if I don't have enough of these to make an even size block out of them, then I'll make a couple more and then see what size it is. But that's getting them trimmed. So I just set them kind of side by side versus making a star or doing anything like that. And I did have to make a couple more. I did have to make a few to get the right number of them, which was fine. And I'm going to just stitch the hand stitch the binding down. I kind of like that on small ones to hand stitch it. And it's got some crows prominently featured on the back. So that will go with the bag, and then the back of my bag is all the fabric. And then I also did the lining because, you know, I might as well use all the crow fabric up. That's what I decided. Now I do have, when I'm going to hand stitch like that, I do keep a little, like, here we go. I have this little, sort of little box, this little box here that I keep everything in for my handwork whenever I'm going to do some hand binding or the labels or anything else, the handwork. So I've got what have we got in there? We've got the Clover needle threader, and I have got a pair of unicorn scissors because, you know, I can. Aren't they cute? Everybody needs unicorn scissors. I've got a pin cushion that was given to me, and a bigger needle threader for tapestry size needles, or, you know, and then a thimble. So if I feel like I want to put the thimble on, which I do sometimes, if I'm working quite a bit, I will stick the thimble on. If it's just a little bit, I just don't really bother. This, I need the black because I'm going to be doing this guy. So I need the black thread. And then some of you have not done anything like with much hand sewing, you know, and you maybe just have some needle you just got. And so you were asking me, you know, about getting a package of needles with different sizes. And there's many of those out there. Lori Holt put one together that has a whole bunch of different sizes. And she sort of made it stitcher friendly. She just put descriptions versus like the style of needle, like a straw needle or whatever. Instead, she just put descriptions of what you would use it for. And then within that, she has multiple sizes, and they're all color coded on the needle head, on the threading head rather, where you put the thread through. They have color coding. So, so you might like that. That might work for you rather than trying to remember funky names. You might like this concept, and so I've got a link to that. And I've been using the binding, the one that she had. Does she call it for binding? Yeah. So I think I've been using that. Or did I use a different one? No, I think that's what I was using to try it out. They're a bit thicker needle than I generally use because I tend to use the straw needles for everything, which are a little bit thinner. So that's just a personal preference and something I've always done since I did a lot of handwork way back. Lots and lots. Okay, so two things. First is next week we do the canning jars on Wednesday, and let me just pop some pictures here. So there's a smaller canning jar, which is the one I'm going to be making. It's a pattern you purchase, and you can download it as well as get a print copy. Then there's a free larger canning jar. I'll probably make one to show it to you, but I'm not making that quilt because I don't need a big quilt of canning jars. I want the smaller one to hang in my home. So that's what I'll be doing. And I'm just going to be rooting through my fabrics for the canning jar items. And that'll be so much fun. So we're going to, and I'll talk about that on Wednesday, just a little, you know, just how I'm going to think about it and those kind of things. So be ready. They're both downloadable patterns. And if you're just using what you have, yeah, you could just jump right in. Or you can order some fabric. Just go right ahead. Go right ahead. The other thing is, before we look at something the elves sent, is on my Facebook group today through Christmas Day will be our Christmas shares. So if you want to share a picture of your Christmas decorations inside your home, outside your home, if you want to share the Christmas decorations in your town or down your street, if you want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to our friends in the group with a Christmas card image, whatever. You can start today, Friday, through Christmas Day on Monday. So that means in the group there will be a lot of non-quilting photos. This is a tradition that I started when I started the group pretty much. And so it happens every year for a few days around the holidays. And it is very fun. It is just so delightful for you to share your home and your life with everybody, and it's so interesting to be able to see how different people decorate and enjoy the spirit of Christmas. So I hope that you will share yours and also enjoy seeing what other people are doing. Alrighty, let's see what those elves sent, because there's a few little things here, just a few. So our friend Kathy, who is very active in the morning chat, sent me this card, and that is Blind Man's Fancy Reproduction Quilt. So look how cool that is, and a little thread stopper for on top of Miss Duchess, the featherweight. So, and it's got little cherries on it. How cute is that? Kathy, that's so darling. I appreciate it. Ah, so cute. And let's see, this is from Naomi in Rhode Island. Look at this. Look at that kitty. Our ambassador Dennis has a cat, and so we see a lot of Dennis's cat, and it's always so darling. Joe is the cat's name, and she sent me a Starbucks so that I can keep fueled up for doing videos, right? Thank you. And let's see, I have got from Judy in Texas. Look at this pretty glittery card. Oh, that's really pretty. Very, very pretty. And she also is going to be sure I'm greatly fueled up. I appreciate that. And I'm going to be styling some mushroom socks. Real mushroom socks, right? Yeah, I love it. I love them. That green is pretty. It's kind of a teal green. Now, see, this is from our friend Cheryl in Hawaii. Yes, How fun. And now I can't read this whole thing, but this is called The Light of Lawai. And it is a pilgrimage of compassion of the Lawai International Center. And it's been held ever since 9/11 in 2001. And so there's a picture of it, and it talks about it on the back. Very, very cool. And so she sent me a few things. One is this super darling, I have to take it out of here, this bag. This is so darling. Look, see, like a bag in a bag, so that you can store it. It's like opens up into itself. Look at this with all the little faces. I love it. I love it. So neat. Of course, I use bags for all my shopping. So that is just perfect. And then she sent me these chocolates from Hawaii, and I wrote it down. They're shortbread with caramel, or caramel, however you say it. Caramel, what do you say? Macadamia nuts dipped in chocolate. And she sent me both the dark chocolate and the light chocolate version. Actually, we like both. She said she didn't know what I liked. We like both. So, yeah, that I can't wait. After this video, I'm trying that immediately. That's the first thing I'm trying. Oh my goodness. And then our friend Elaine sent this. Beautiful, beautiful winter card. Look at that. Look at that. I'd like to see something like that in person. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? Then she sent a bunch of little goodies in here. It's an ornament, and it's two-sided. Look at this. So pretty. That is so pretty. Okay, so some of these, Elaine, do they have, like, okay. What's in here? What's in here? Wrapped in fabric, because we quilters wrap everything in fabric because it's the best. Oh, so I got another bag. That's perfect. This one's got bees. Okay, I'm gonna leave it tucked in. But there, you can see the bees. Perfect. You can never have too many grocery bags, because I carry them and I store them here and there so that I have them and I don't have to go looking for them. So nice. And there is, what does this say? Cardinals appear when angels are near. So pretty. We have cardinals. We have a lot of cardinals here in my yard. So I love that. And she did send some peeps for Greg and I, one for each of us. Greg and I. This has got chocolate on the bottom. My goodness. Tomorrow morning for coffee. For next, or I'll do it Tuesday, Elaine, for this video on Tuesdays. So I'll have that. And look, look at that. Look at that. So sweet. I love the snowman. Well, you know now. You all know now. I love snowman. Little note paper, which I use tons of these little note papers. Caramel, well, no, M&M's, white chocolate. Yum, 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 yum. I like white chocolate. We've got, what is this? Stirring spoons. Ooh, very nice. Some cute socks with little coffee cups on them. I see there's some gummies. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And I think there's another card in here and some stickers. Now I've got some winter stickers. I think I can use some of these for January. What do you think? They look wintry. The snowman and everything? Definitely. Okay, so I had to fix my hat. It was driving me nuts. So here's like a little card that opens up. It's like a snow globe, opens up. I love snow globes. Look at this. So darling. And then Elaine is going to be sure that Greg and I are well nourished. We appreciate so much everything. Mwah. And all of you have been just so incredibly thoughtful, and Greg and I are just so blessed to have you in our lives. We really, really appreciate you every single day. It's just awesome. You're so awesome. So what I want to do is just end the video today by taking a look and showing you my decorations again in my living room. So I'm hoping that you have a marvelous, marvelous time with your families. Have peace and love. And I will now take you in the other room. Let's take a little look at my decorations again, just before we sign off for the holidays, for the few days you can spend with your family and your friends celebrating. So I've got this carousel, or whatever, tiered stands Lots of goodies in there. Some of them sent by you. And then over here, I've really enjoyed setting this vignette up this year. I bought the house last year at Target, which is actually an advent calendar. I think they had one this year that was multiple houses, like, you know, several, like a row house kind of a thing. I put little tea lights in these. These were also from Target one a couple years back. And this was from one of our friends here, the little bitty mushroom and the little owl. And then I bought this guy this year. This is from one of our friends, the mushroom. This one's the timer. So I put cards in this tiered basket and the mushroom swag. So let's come out, take one last look at my decorations for the year. It's been so much fun. I've really been enjoying them. Probably would taking them down just before New Year's, if not maybe New Year's Day. So I've got beautiful cards that were sent. This was our quilt along that we just finished this year, a different year's quilt along. And then let's end with a beautiful tree. I've so enjoyed my tree this year. I hope that you put one up and you've enjoyed it, or you've enjoyed the season. So I love you. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. Mwah. I will see you on Tuesday.